Hey guys, well, good morning. Looks like I'll be welding in circles today. Got this 44-inch diameter pipe, got to stick together. This one here may be something you're familiar with seeing from before. I posted a video about double banding to make this stronger, and these we call J hooks for the twist head on these things to turn them into the ground. But now they need a longer section, so that's a 20-foot section. This is a 20-foot section, and they're looking for 40 feet, but 39 is going to do, so that'll be good. And so stick around if you want to see how we wrestle this thing around. Got the crane operator over here just hanging loose in the truck, which is fine. We don't need him at the moment, but we'll try and cut that around. Oh, another thing is I'll be able to take advantage of this factory edge bevel. I'm right in the light, you probably can't see that, but it's kind of wore somewhat, but not too terribly bad, so we're going to use that to our advantage. So I don't have to cut two new rings, I'll just cut this one straight. So let's get after it. Okay, so for the first step that we got to do is to ensure that the surface is clean. You think this light surface rust is okay, and it normally is, but what can happen is as you're cutting with a torch, you know, there'll be a slight deflection on whatever flakes off, and then you have a lot of stops and start issues. So this will anything that you can do to help clean the surface helps. So we're just going to get a wire wheel, run it around as far as we can, and try and make it easier to cut. We'll wrap it around. I'll show you the wrap around here in a minute. We'll mark it out, cut the top half, roll it over once, cut the bottom half, and go that way. All right. Okay, so now that we got that cleaned up, it just makes for a nicer surface. That way there's no hang-ups or hiccups with the torch flame being disrupted by anything on this surface here. And so people ask how I cut such a straight line. Well, first off, if you're going to shake in the direction of the cut, I'm kidding. It is difficult, I still shake. But one of the things that really helps is using a really wide wraparound. This is called a wraparound. I don't know any other name for it. And this one here is 7 inches wide. The wider the wraparound, the easier it is to maintain a straight line around the whole diameter of the pipe. They do sell smaller ones. I believe they're 4 inch round, 4 inch wide or so. Those can kind of stretch and create issues where you can't really keep a straight line all the way around. So I found this to be more effective. One of the things that you do have to do though is you have to order these most of the time, or at least my Welding Supply didn't carry it, so I had to order that, and I forget how long I ordered it, but you can order it per foot, and I think I got it long enough to cover a 60-inch pipe. And so now we'll wrap this around here. I'll show you how we square it up and mark the line so that we can kind of make sure that it's nice and flat. All right, next step. All right, so we'll go ahead and start wrapping it around, as the saying goes. We'll tuck it underneath. Is it able to fit? Yeah, it fits.
Need a little more slack.
Okay, go ahead. Okay. One of the things you don't want to do is catch any dirt or anything in the way. Let me hand this camera to you. And so in this case, what you want to do is overlap these two edges here so that they're nice and square to each other. It'll take a little bit of rocking back and forth until you get it straight. check that it's flat all the way around. Does it look flat? Good? Mm-hmm. Okay, so now that we got it flat all the way around, I like using silver pencils. These stand out really, contrast a lot to the rest of the pipe, and just mark to one side. You hand it to you. Can you mark that over there at the same time? When you're done, you can hand it back. All right, so that looks like we marked it out pretty good. A lot of people like to use soapstone. Soapstone works great. However, you have any oily or greasy stuff that I normally work on, since I work on machines, soapstone doesn't like oil. So this works pretty good. And on occasion, the reflection from the sun will make it difficult for me to see that line. And so what I will do is I'll spray this with our favorite oil product. It's in a blue and yellow can, and I'll show you right quick. This guy right here, like so in this area it gets difficult to see sometimes with the cutting glasses, and it just lightens up. I mean, stands out even more. So this is not flammable enough in this concentration to light a fire. Most of that stuff will evaporate off a little bit, but it does give the nice contrast to being able to see that. You can spray that for the rest of this. And so next is cutting, and I'll give you another quick pointer. If you draw a line, let's say wherever your line is like that, being that the wraparound was against this edge here, I will use the torch cut kerf. Let's say that's the kerf or the width of the torch cut. I will use this edge up against this inner edge here to make sure that I stay nice and straight. You can cut down the center of the cut, but it gives you too much wiggle room to be wrong and kind of go crooked. So I like to put the kerf on one edge. I'll show you what I mean when I start cutting. So let's do that next. Okay, so one of the things that, if you get a little closer, one of the things that, being that this is a scrap piece, I start the flame on that side, pierce the hole, and then work my way towards the cut. And you'll see as I start cutting what I'm talking about as far as keeping the cut kerf on one side. In the cut in a very different manner, especially when coming down this side here. I stretch my arms out and carry it like I'm carrying a basket. You'll see here in a second once the backs out in the view. Light. So that's about as straight a line as I can get for what it is. Now you can show that there. And I continue on this side here, so. You'll notice how much better the other way than this way. Okay. The view this way of that line. Pretty straight, right? Nothing a grinder can't fix. So now it's the other side. These are always fun because the sun gets in your eyes or so, and it's difficult to see one way or the other. That's part of it. See all that orange, that stuff I didn't get off with the grinder. Okay, close enough. So let's get this rolled and we'll cut the other half. Okay, let's move that cord just in case it falls over. Good, don't do that. You hear that whistle? That's what I was talking about. Okay, stand back so it doesn't fall on you. Man, my glasses are glary. I can see. Okay, keep it going. All right, so not bad. Cleaned up right. Clean up with a grinder, and we're looking good. All right, let's keep going. Okay, so let's look at it together. Let's see, where's the lens? There it is. Very straight. Let's see. Yeah. Somewhere in there. So that's looking good. So now we'll touch this up with the grinder and clean out these little specks. And I'm going to use the bevel on that other side to my advantage. We're not going to weld it 100%. None of these casings ever are, so we'll just pretty much butt it up as close as we can. Run some hot, it'll be about 2, maybe 3 passes, not exactly sure. We'll find out when we get there, but at least 2 passes of 7018. And if there's any concern, I will go inside and put stitch welds around the inside perimeter, but usually these things hold pretty good. So let's clean this up. Okay, what we did was welded these plate dogs. I don't know what you call them. Different people call them different things. But these help me align these pipes. And so this is looking good. We'll get it a little bit closer. We'll see how close to straight I cut once we get a little bit closer. So things are looking good so far. Now let's do this guy here. Did it roll that way? Sure did. Go bring the other ones. Oh, they're right here. Okay, let me weld those on. That might work. Keep going. Put one more up here. I went too far around the corners. There's too much to pull. Don't catch on your own glove. Oh man. Okay, we need to wiggle the back end of the pipe and kind of shift it around a bit. Okay, right about here is where the crane will be handy, so I can pick up the tail of that about 2 inches or so, and it'll close this gap because it's already touching at the bottom. You can't see in there, but it's touching at the bottom, and we're getting really close. So that's a fairly straight line. Cut it nice and straight, so that's good. I didn't weld this good enough to be able to yank it closed, so we're just going to use leverage or crane. Crane sometimes is not as good as I'd like, because you know they're too gruff and it'll set all this off and I got to start over. So sometimes doing it by hand is easier. It's a little more effort, but it's worth it in the long run. It saves a little time. So I'm going to try that first. Nothing?
A little bit higher.
Okay. Let's go look at what we did. Haha, pretty good. Okay, now I can let off on this guy actually, so it's looking good. Let me try and do that right there. All right, flush on the top. Oh, it needs to go a little down. Oh, we're looking good. Okay, we're good. All right, so now that we sat that back down, this gap, what gap? Came out pretty good. So we'll start tacking this guy all the way up, probably from down here. Then we can weld as much as we can all at one shot. Stitch welds just to hold it in position. Then we'll jump onto the other side, do the same thing, then go get lunch. Okay, do a combination of both. Maybe this guy will help you. Looks like it's moving. You can give it a love tap with a hammer if you like. Just around the belly, right in the bottom of that area. Yeah, just a good one. Watch your fingers. Ah, like you mean it. There you go. It'll just shock it a little bit and allow it to move some more. Not heavy enough. That looks pretty close to good, I think. Yeah, that looks pretty close. And this is getting close. Like about another half a turn. The bottom one. Turn it upside down. There you go. Give you a little bit of leverage. Another quarter turn.
Another quarter?
Yep, yep.
All right.
You can rub your finger across it. Getting close.
Ooh, right there.
Looks pretty good. Yeah, looks pretty good. Watch yourself. Good. Looks like it'll do it. Okay, my turn. Let me tack it. Excellent, excellent. So things are looking really good. Got this side tacked up, and before you jump on my case, don't worry, I'm going to open that up with a grinder, 1/4 inch grinding wheel, and that'll give a little bit of bevel on this side to help me get a little bit further into that weld or that groove. So everything's looking nice, very little gaps, nice straight lines. Other than that issue right there, looks like it wore that bevel down, and then it gets better from here down. So either way, that's the only problematic area I see for now. So now it's lunchtime, so let's go get some tacos or something. All right, just a quick little overview of this pipe. So looking pretty good. 39 feet. And now it's time to get welding. We'll start beveling in here with the grinder, like I mentioned earlier. Feather out these new starts and stops. And I could almost get away with doing one pass, but I'm not. The bevel I create with the grinder will be deep enough to need to weld passes. I'm using 1/8 inch 7018s. I'm not a fan of 6010s. I should, because this is pipe and penetrate a little bit more. But I don't like the sparks. And you get burned. I've done that for years. So if I can do just as good with 7018, I'm gonna do with 7018. So as with all of my videos, these are videos of how I did it, not how to do it. So at least you get a glimpse. All right, let's get to work.
Nuclear? No. Sucker's electrical. I see a nuclear reaction to generate the 1.21 gigawatts. So, yeah. Then you got Mr. Fusion. And that was a way better alternative.
1.21 gigawatts?
What the heck's a gigawatt?
Okay, so before I got too far, I thought I'd show you what I was talking about as far as only running 2 passes. I widened out this bevel just a little bit, even though this one was flat, I mean a square cut, and this one's a bevel. And then of course I'll just weld right in there, a little whip pattern up to put the first pass, and then I'll do a weave pass on the second one. And someone asked the other day what type of rods I use. I use regular 7018s. These are Excaliburs. They burn pretty good. Also the ESOBs, the Adamark, I think burn really nice. But someone asked how I keep from having trouble with restarts. As you see here at the end of this rod, they create a little hollow, and what I do once I stop welding is I'll do a little flick, and it'll flick this drip or the drop off of the end of this, and then at this point I can just break this end off, and it starts with a fresh new tip, and it works really good for restart. So there we go.
Pay attention to the end here.
I did a little flick and threw off that drip at the end, and then just break it off, start fresh. Let's keep going. Always get you run out of rod right at the end. Okay, let's go up here. let's take that lens off right quick. And so we'll clean this up right away. Then I'll show you my second pass, cover pass on it, and we'll be done with this half. Okay, so we cleaned up the same side. You know, it's not the best, not the worst. I don't claim to be the best welder, so it'll hold, right? So next step is to do the second pass over that with 7/18 again, and then we could jump over to the other side, clean it up with the grinding wheel, wire wheel, and we'll be done with this half. Then we can just roll it over, do the second half. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, so that particular rod, I did a letter D, a lowercase d kind of pattern. That's all right. It's actually a little low, a little bit undercut, but you know, for what it is, it's fine. So let's slow down a little bit and see if I can try a different pattern. Actually lower the amps a little bit. Yeah, I'm out of practice. Okay, well, been at the shop too long. Okay, let's keep going. Borrow your hood. My clear lenses are too dirty right now. Excuses. Let's see if this does any better. Probably not. That was a lot better. I could see better. Okay, so that looks really good. And I'll be doing the same. Of course, it's starting to get on the easier part of the pipe, right? It's not exactly vertical, but it's starting to lay down, so it does become a little easier. But that's gonna work right there. So let's keep going at the top half, and hopefully it'll look a little bit better now. That's about as good as it gets for me. I'm way out of practice, but it's not falling off. So it's looking good. Welds are so hard to take video of because they just look so horrible. But in person they look a lot better. Okay, let me change clear lenses on my helmet and do the other side. Okay, last run. Will do. Like I say, it's not the best, not the worst, but it will work. So brush that up and cool. Let's roll this guy over. Okay, so I had a little bit of a situation where this was in a bind. That bevel had slid under there and was creating a lot of tension in here. So as you saw, I was using my cutoff wheel to cut a nice thin kerf all the way through, and it worked out really well. So now I just gotta clean it up with a grinder, make that bevel a little bit wider, and it looks pretty flat. I mean, everywhere it looks decent enough to weld it up. So I think we're gonna do that. No more clamps. It looks fair enough. So little bevel, weld, done. All right. Okay, we're making decent progress. just need to finish it up. Almost there. So looking good. All right, guys. Well, it looks like finished up. Looks all right. You know, again, it's not the best, not the worst, but it'll definitely work. So long as it doesn't leak, that's all the goal that I've got to make sure of. So again, thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it and maybe learned something. Maybe learn what not to do, right? So anyway, that'll do it for us. We'll catch you later, and thanks for watching. We'll catch you guys later.